Hello everyone, and welcome. Today, I want to share a story with you, a gentle tale that drifted to me like a leaf on a calm river. It's a story about loneliness, about waiting, but most importantly, about the unexpected kindness that can blossom in the quietest of places. So find a comfortable spot, let the noise of the world fade away, and join me on a journey to a little house by a river. Once upon a time, nestled in a bend where the river ran slow and clear, stood a small, weathered house. Inside lived an old couple. Their home, once filled with the boisterous laughter of children, had grown quiet over the years. Their children had built new lives in faraway cities, leaving behind a silence that echoed louder than any memory. Every evening, as the sun began its descent, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, the couple would sit on their doorstep. Their eyes would follow the gentle, endless flow of the river, a silent companion in their long wait. They spoke little, for their thoughts were shared, a quiet, constant hope that one day they would see the familiar faces of their children walking up the path. Days melted into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. The seasons changed, the river rose and fell, but the path remained empty. The garden, once a riot of color, tended with love, began to look weary. The vibrant flowers drooped, their colors fading as if mirroring the couple's own dimming spirits. Loneliness was a heavy blanket, and with each passing day, it felt a little harder to shrug off. The husband would mend his fishing nets, his hands moving with the slow, practiced rhythm of a lifetime, while his wife would knit, the click-clack of her needles, a soft metronome counting the quiet hours. They missed the chatter, the small arguments, the simple joy of a shared meal with family. They were not bitter, just tired. Tired of the silence, tired of the waiting. The river, their only constant witness, flowed on, carrying their unspoken wishes downstream. Then, one morning, something was different. The sun rose with a particular brilliance, its golden rays dancing on the water's surface, turning the river into a glittering ribbon of light. The air was fresh, carrying the scent of damp earth and distant blossoms. As the old man stepped out to breathe in the new day, he stopped. His wife, following his gaze, gasped softly. There, standing by the edge of their neglected garden, was a young girl. She was not from their village. They had never seen her before. She stood with a stillness that seemed to belong to the river itself, her hair like spun moonlight, and her eyes holding a depth and kindness that was immediately calming. She wore a simple dress, the color of the sky at dawn, and a gentle smile played on her lips as she looked at the drooping flowers. She wasn't doing anything, just being there. Her presence was like a soft note of music in the long, silent song of their lives. For a moment, the old couple simply watched, unsure if she was real or a figment of their longing. The girl then turned her head and looked directly at them. Her smile widened, not with pity, but with a pure, open warmth that reached across the yard and touched their hearts. The old woman, her own heart giving a hopeful flutter, found her voice. "Come in, child," she said, her tone softer and more welcoming than it had been in years. "You look like you've traveled a long way. You must be tired." The girl didn't hesitate. With a graceful nod, she walked toward the house. Her steps light upon the earth. She entered their home, and it was as if she had brought the morning sunlight in with her. Without a word of instruction, she began to help. She fetched water from the well, her movements fluid and effortless. She helped the old woman knead dough for bread, her small, capable hands working alongside the wrinkled ones. She listened, truly listened, as the old couple, hesitant at first, began to share their stories. They spoke of their youth, of the day they met, of raising their children in this very house. The girl's laughter, clear and bright as a bell, filled the rooms that had been silent for so long. It was a sound of pure joy, and it was contagious. The old man found himself telling jokes he hadn't thought of in decades, and a deep, rumbling laugh escaped him, surprising even himself. She didn't offer solutions or platitudes. She simply offered her presence, her attention, and her kindness. From that day forward, everything changed. The girl became a part of their daily rhythm, as natural and essential as the rising and setting of the sun. With her help, the garden was reborn. They weeded and watered together, and soon, vibrant flowers began to bloom again, lifting their heads to the sun. Red roses, yellow sunflowers, and purple lavender filled the air with a sweet, forgotten fragrance. The house itself seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. The windows were thrown open to let in the fresh air, and the scent of baking bread and fragrant stews once again wafted from the kitchen. The old couple's hearts, so long heavy with waiting, felt light and full. A deep, abiding joy settled over them. They found themselves smiling for no reason, humming old tunes as they worked, their steps lighter than they had been in years. They never asked the girl who she was or where she had come from. The questions felt unnecessary, almost intrusive. It was enough that she was there. In the quiet moments, as they sat together watching the river, they would exchange a knowing glance. In their hearts, they held a shared, unspoken belief. They believed she was a gift. Perhaps she was a spirit of the river, or an angel sent by nature itself. She was a reminder that love and connection don't always arrive in the packages we expect. Sometimes love isn't about blood or obligation. Sometimes it's about a shared moment of kindness, a helping hand, a listening ear from a stranger. She was the personified kindness of the world, appearing just when they needed it most. She hadn't replaced their children, but she had filled a void they didn't know how to mend. Then, one afternoon, as the three of them were sitting in the garden, sharing a cup of tea amidst the blooming flowers, a car pulled up. Two figures emerged, a man and a woman, looking older and more careworn than the couple remembered. It was their children. They had finally come. They walked up the path, their faces a mixture of guilt and surprise. They had expected to find their parents frail and sad, living in a decaying home. Instead, they found them here, in this oasis of color and life, their faces glowing with a happiness that seemed to radiate from within. They looked around at the vibrant garden, the tidy house, the contented smiles on their parents' faces. What happened here?" their son asked, his voice filled with astonishment. "Who helped you with all this?" The old woman turned her gaze from her children to the river, a serene smile gracing her lips. The girl was no longer beside her, having slipped away as quietly as she had arrived. The mother didn't point or explain. She simply looked at the flowing water, a symbol of everything that had passed and everything that had been given. "A kind heart did," she replied softly. And in that simple answer, there was a world of meaning. It was a lesson for her children, a testament to the girl by the river, and a beautiful truth for all of us. That kindness is its own magic, a force that can make flowers bloom in the most desolate of gardens and fill the loneliest hearts with light. Thank you so much for listening to this story with me today. I hope it brought a little warmth to your heart as it did to mine. If you enjoyed it, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel for more stories that explore the quiet, beautiful corners of the human experience. Your support means the world. Take care, and remember to be the kind heart someone might be waiting for.